So that's why your coffee machine is.
Yeah, because we were bonding.
Yeah, we were bonding over
I
the
think
coffee
you were
machine.
fucking up our coffee machine, and I'm not pointing fingers, but it was, you need to clean it out. Remove the trash there, coffee beans have to go out, otherwise no new coffee can come in.
We had a great gig there.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit
This
disappointed about you, Linda.
No, this is the bonding that's happening.
Yes.
The coffee machine is also
bonding.
doing this to make us bond.
Yes.
We had
Okay,
topics
good.
to
So
talk
next
about.
time when somebody comes, doesn't know, you can solve it. Perfect. So how did Uwe and I actually end up in this crazy little village? We both wanted to do something together, and we met a crazy person on a catamaran trip from the Maldives to Thailand, who was talking about renting a castle outside Vienna for co-living. And Uwe and I were like, okay, this is crazy enough, we want to be involved. But this never happened, so for some reason this project was like too crazy. And the person who proposed it then took a job, so was no longer so entrepreneurial, and this whole thing stopped. But Uwe and I, we were like, okay, maybe we should do something together. We had a friend talking about Bulgaria a lot. And then we just came here about 3 years ago in the summer to see how Bansko works in the summer, and we really liked it. Because we were both looking for another place. So I was based in Salzburg, he is based in Vorarlberg, in Feldkirch. And Austria is a great place, but for nomads it's not the best place because you have high taxes, you have high cost of living, so if you don't really stay there a lot and take advantage of all the things that Austria can offer, then it's not a great base for people that are not there. So we came here, we found out Bansko is a super cool little small mountain resort town. I often call it the village, but please don't call it the village, it's a town. The locals are very conscious about this. We have a roundabout, we have traffic lights, so we are a town. There's about 10,000 residents living here year-round. There's probably about 50 British expats living here. There's more like the retirement crowd. A lot of them are involved in real estate if they're not yet retired. And there's about 20,000 hotel rooms. Most of them are half empty, so if you look around Bansko, a lot of the buildings are empty, which on the one hand is very sad, but on the other hand also creates a lot of opportunity because this means that prices are really low and affordable. So you can buy a studio here for 10,000 euros, you can buy a 1-bedroom for about 20,000 euros, and there's not so many places in Europe where you can do that. Also, Bansko has like a very long history, so this is like an old trading station on the way to Turkey. If you look at the Old Town area, you can see some of the old houses. It has a history with the Bulgarian Renaissance movement, and there's a lot of like very important Bulgarian thinkers and poets and authors that come from this area. There's a lot of artists. So this is not just a ski resort that operates in the ski season, but this is really a historic old little town, which kind of makes it interesting. And then it's the best ski resort of the Balkans. Also this, be careful when you mention this, there's other people in the Balkans that have other ideas, but I think it's a really cool ski area. There's a 10% flat income tax, personal income tax, which is great for nomads, so you can pay taxes here. It's fully legal in the EU and it's only 10%. In Austria it's closer to 50%, so you'll probably understand why Uwe and I kind of like it here. As I mentioned, apartments are super cheap, cost of living is cheap. At least if you don't earn local wages. It's different if you're local, obviously, but as a nomad, if you have a kind of normal nomad income, then this is very, very affordable as a base. It's super easy to get here. So Sofia is one of the main hubs for Ryanair and Wizz Air. Both airlines have more than 40 connections from Sofia, which means it's super easy to get to all over Europe. And it's super easy from all over Europe to get here. We have really good internet infrastructure. We are close to Greece, so like in 2.5 hours we can be on the beach if required. And sometimes it is required to be on the beach. And it's inside the EU, so this is also one of these nomad topics. A lot of nomads that end up in Thailand or in Bali, they always have this thing like I need to do visa runs, or I need to do some kind of shady visa for like a kickboxing school so that I can stay longer in the country. And it's kind of a little bit tricky. Here you're inside the EU, just show up and that's it. And I think all this together makes it a really cool infrastructure if you want to do something for nomads. And there's like tons of crazy traditions. This is a cookery. They help us to get rid of the evil spirits. There's furry creatures. There's like this old town area. There's amazing nature. I mean, the Bansko is much bigger than just a little ski resort area. Also, the mountains around here are beautiful. And if you go up there in the summer or in the winter, there's really places where you have the whole mountain for yourself. So it's not only like these hordes of tourists, but there's still like this very traditional nature experience that you can have here. and there's clubs, and there's mountain biking, and it's all kind of celebrations. So it's, for a small town, there's really a lot going on. So Uwe and I, we decided, let's build an amazing co-working space. What we believe is important for a co-working space, and you probably believe the same, is that we want to have nice large tables. Like these are custom tables that we have. This one is from IKEA, but all the other tables are custom. So they have like a big cable channel in the middle. They're very solid, they don't move, so there's the right height. They're large enough that people can work comfortably. We have everywhere nice chairs. So don't put people on this chair for a day, but gives them like a proper office chair that they can adjust and the height and the back and so on. And even though this is super simple, I think there's still a lot of co-working spaces that don't get it. Of course, it looks much nicer in your interior design magazine if you don't have chairs like this. And they all have different shapes, but super uncomfortable. So, I mean, you need to have the infrastructure for working. We have some plants. A lot of them die, but we possibly buy new ones. Some artworks. We have 24/7 access, so people can come and go whenever. Also, this is something that we found is very important. We don't have a reception, so it's not staffed. People just get a token, and then we trust them enough that they can come. And so far, in the nearly 3 years that we exist, we didn't have any problems with this. I think this also works because the community here is a little bit different than in the city where you have people just coming in for a day. Here most people stay longer, so they watch out for each other. Yeah, so how we do it, I believe it's super important to be part of the communities that you want to build. As I said to Uwe and I, we have been digital nomads long before we came to Bansko. And the first members that we got were our friends. So we told everyone, hey, we are this crazy mountain village, come. And some people just came, and then they came back, and then they came back with their friends, and now their friends bring their friends. And I think this is super important, so don't try to build something for a target audience that you don't really know, that you're not part of it. I think it's much harder. It's super important to be generous. So, of course, we have all kind of different members. But what I found, it's super important to be generous with members. So. Always in doubt, believe that the members have good intentions. If they have ideas, always be open to these ideas. If they have problems paying their membership invoice, see if you can make it happen somehow. And this also, this generosity that we try to extrude to our members and also extends from our members. So we have a lot of members that do skill sharing events here that otherwise they would get paid for if they would do this in a different context. We have like a donation box where people just leave stuff and they leave Bansko for other members. We have a lot of members that help other members when they work together, where you normally would have like a developer or designer help you with something, you would have to pay them. Here, very often members just trade and barter and pay it forward by helping other members. And I think this makes it a really, really interesting environment. So most people don't ask here, what's in it for me when they meet others, but they're like more, how can I help you? And this creates a totally different atmosphere. Yes, we try to treat everyone like friends. This doesn't mean that everyone becomes friends with me. I mean, this would be more like an animation team that we don't want. But we try to treat everyone as a friend when they come here. And often then they also treat other members as friends. We do a ton of stuff together, so even though we are a boutique co-working space, I think every day there's something happening. Many days there's like 2 or 3 things happening. Most of these events are organized by members, so it doesn't require me to be here. For example, Philippe won big at the poker night, and he was wondering where's Matthias at poker night, so I don't have to come to every single event, which I think is also super cool. Yeah, we let the community build the community. And then sometimes we just see what they build and we try to support it the best way we can. Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff going on, and some of this stuff is more curated. So for example, these weekend events, the reason why we do the co-working conference in November is on the one hand because when we started, I wanted to have other co-working spaces to learn from them and get feedback. But also because we believe that these events help, like now November is a very low season for us. So if we do an event like this, or like last month, the Bloggers on Top event, it's also that we create a little bit more energy in the space. And then other people stay, some people stay longer, and things happen. The thing that I find most interesting about Bansko, and of course Uwe and I, this was one of our kind of hopes that it would happen, but I think it's still a little bit unusual. So we have about 30 people that moved to Bansko because of us, which means we turn digital nomads into digital residents. A lot of them are buying apartments. They're opening their companies here. They're doing long-term rents. We have the first co-working Bansko baby. I hope with Linda we had the first proposal, and she accepted Fedor's proposal in Bansko. And if they ever have kids, we will call them also co-working Bansko babies, even if not conceived here. So it's really interesting to see how a co-working space can really influence the life of so many people, because it's a big commitment to buy an apartment in Bansko just because you like the co-working community, especially for people that are used to travel a lot. So if you ask me what makes me most proud, it's probably the statistics that we really make this big impact in people's life. Also, we have, of course, people, we love it if people review us. This is coworker.com. I hope all your spaces are on coworker.com. Johnny FD is probably one of the most famous nomads. He's telling in our reviews that he has been to over 100 spaces all over the world, and co-working Bansko checks all the boxes and it is perfect. So if I hear something like this, it seems that it kind of ticks the boxes of the people that they're looking for. And the way how we do this is we have member feedback events. Normally, like every 2 months, we have like an elders group where we ask members to tell us what you like at the moment, what don't you like, where do you see it going. For example, now we are considering the expansion of the co-working space with another location. And all our elder members, meaning everyone who has been here for at least 6 months in the last 12 months is an elder. All the elder members tell us, okay, we like this location, or we like that location, or we should consider this aspect of the new location. Last time when we opened a new location, the elders helped us to actually open the location in a lot of ways, so they organized a big opening party and stuff. So I think it's important to really involve the members instead of providing them the co-working space only in the way how you would envision it. And my vision would be we would be a board game cafe, as you can see from this shelf, is you have to listen to what the members really want. And then see, can you make this happen? And I think when you can really satisfy what your members want and when you listen to them, then you can create amazing stuff. Yes. So plan for tomorrow. Let's help each other to build the most amazing co-working spaces. So I hope that we can share all the ideas. Of course, we can also already talk tonight at dinner. I think some of the people in the room have already shared some ideas in the afternoon before the program started, so this is fine as well. And with this, we will just walk to Banski Han. Thank you.